So I wanted to come on here and talk about the unfortunate efficiency of negativity, and how there's actually two ways to go about the efficiency of negativity. I mean, it's really, people put things into perspective and make everything overcomplicated. They overcomplicate everything. They overthink everything. And again, I'm a victim of that 100%. But also, like, you have to understand that it comes down to a point where it really is that simple. The way that you talk to yourself in the morning, or the way you talk to yourself throughout the day, however you talk to yourself in the mirror. I remember there's times where I would sit in the mirror and just call myself a loser. I was fat, gross, you're ugly, nobody's gonna love you, this, that, the third. Just being a terrible person to myself. When I stopped that, stepped back and kind of really looked at how I was treating myself, I would never allow somebody to treat me that way. And I was so disrespectful to myself, I never saw that the way that I spoke to myself translated into the way I felt. So when you realize that you can do so much more with the way you talk to yourself and just being positive, if you flip that script and you're, listen, brother, you're getting after it, or sister, whoever you are, listen, you're getting after it. It takes time. You're killing it. You're doing the best you can. And like I mentioned in my other video, you have to really not care about other people. I mean, when it comes down to it, if you're looking at the grand scheme of things, if you want to get stuff done, who's the one that's going to help you but you? You might have some people that go, okay, cool. Yeah, that'd be fun. You can do that. Absolutely. And you'll have some people that are like, what? Why would you even want to do that? And I'm sitting in here like trying to remember the times where I had that happen, and where I allowed negativity to hold my perspective on things instead of being able to cut out that negativity and try to look at the positive in that negative. Because, all in all, at the end of the day, if you're speaking negative about yourself and those around you are speaking negatively about you, something needs to change. Whether that's dropping those people that speak negatively of you, or whether that's you change the way that you speak to yourself. Me growing up, I found that people speaking negative to me affected me a lot. And then I realized that I can use that against them. And it, just that the classic, watch me. You laugh in their face and you go, okay, watch me. And a lot of the people that would do that now are in no place that I am. They're still at the bar every weekend. They're still, bringing home random chicks and doing drugs and catching diseases and such. And that's the way they're going to be. That's the way that they're going to be for the rest of their life, unless they make a change. But, you also never know what is going on in people's lives, which is why you can't judge, which is why most of the time when people speak negatively about you, it's because they're not happy with themselves. I mean, I am trying to relate everything to experience that I've had. But even then, like I don't get recognized anymore most of the time when I go out, because I used to be 300 pounds and everybody knew that, I was that fat friend and that guy, and I was always the funny one, and it turned everything into kind of a harsh reality, because a lot of the negative people that I had around me was just tough love. Like my brothers, for example, were tough love. Hey, I want the best for you, but right now, being coachable, I guess I should say, because being coachable is probably the biggest thing that you need to be in your life with not only yourself, but other people. You need to be coachable. You need to be able to adapt to your own vulnerabilities, if that makes sense. You need to be able to read yourself better than others can read you. Even though getting read's not a bad thing. I used to think that getting read was, oh man, I'm wearing my heart on my sleeve, and I looked at it in a negative light. But when you really look at it, if you allow the negativity that's spread around you to consume your brain, it's only going to go downhill. if you then use that negativity and turn it into a positive light and prove to yourself, not other people, prove it to yourself first that you can do whatever you put your mind to, it really changes things for you. Like it really shows, it really grows confidence. It really shows that you can honestly do anything. You can chase your dreams. You can, set goals and run after them. Who cares what other people think? I scheduled the first video for my intentions for tomorrow, which would be Friday, July 24th, because I was scared to upload it for the first day. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna schedule it. But now I'm sitting here looking at it like, why would I care? If they find it, they find it. If they don't, they don't. I don't give a shit anymore, and I'm very tired of allowing that to consume my brain. But you have to realize that when life throws curveballs at you, swing for the fences. Take the risk. Stop allowing the negative people around you to affect your whole life, because those negative people around you are in no spot you want to be at, and think everything you do is taboo and dumb. But are they you? No. Last time I checked, you're you. Last time I checked, you have to please yourself. You don't have to please anybody else. You can make your parents proud, or your brothers proud, or your sisters proud, or your friends proud, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, you have to be content within yourself. If you don't love yourself, you can't love anyone else. If you don't love yourself, you can't grow in ways that allow you to be efficient in your own ways, if that makes sense. You have to understand that, life's not easy. It's going to be hard. And yeah, the effects of negativity just will allow you to just spiral. And those spirals will cause self-doubt, and they'll cause, you to think you're not good enough. Which is also self-doubt. But, when you feel like you don't belong, just know that you do. And people are so negative now because of social media, because when you see these people that are putting on this fake smile, that are, showing you their happy marriage with their happy kids, you don't see the other side of them when the camera's down. So you're comparing yourself to these people that are putting on facades every day. I mean, these facades are ridiculous, the family man, and then you see 5 years later he's getting arrested for smacking somebody up, aka, maybe his wife or whatever it is, or vice versa. You see there's influencers that are going out and they're showing you their hunky-dory lives, and they're the ones that are drinking every weekend and getting obliterated and all that stuff. It sucks, because you have to realize that there's facades in this world, and there's jealousy, and social media is the biggest problem when it comes to comparison, because comparison is a thief of joy. And these people will make you compare yourself to them, and they're not even good. They're just putting on this facade and this image of what I am and who I am, and this is me, and great, good, happy-go-lucky. But they're miserable at the end of the day. You can't allow yourself to be coerced into thinking that just because they're on social media and they're making all this money, they're happy. Because 99% of the time, maybe 50% of the time, we can kind of be generous with that number. They're not happy. They're putting on this facade, and they're doing it every day, and sometimes it's miserable, and they're not happy. Or they incorporate their families into it, and then they realize that they're putting on a facade around everybody that they're around, and they're no longer themselves. But within that negativity, you have to be uniquely you. You cannot allow other people to change your perspective on life, because if you allow them to change your perspective on life, you're just going to become somebody you're not. You need to be consciously aware of that, and you need to play your cards to the best of your ability. Excuse me. This is, again, why I'm sitting here talking like this, because I want to be able to become a little more articulate, And if I get made fun of for these videos, fuck you. I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. My life is my life. I'm going to do what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I want to be able to sit here, talk about experiences, talk about things I stumble upon in the wild, and I want to be able to also create videos on the interests that I have. Like, I mean, in the future, I plan on going to like Herkimer, New York, Utah, a bunch of other places, go traveling. I want to hit all the national parks. I want to start a gemstone collection. I want to start a big garden. I want to have a homestead. This is what I want to do. And I would love to record it and have it on. You know, if somebody wants to come on that journey with me, somebody's going to come on that journey with me. It is what it is, but I'm going to sit here, I'm going to speak it, and I'm going to watch it come to light because it's what I've seen for myself for so long. And I'm tired of allowing people to walk all over me. It's not going to happen anymore. It's been happening since I was 10 years old and since I've been playing sports, and I'm tired of it. I allow everybody to ruin it, and that's the case of negativity. But I have confidence in myself and my words and my life that it's going to happen for me. And that's all that I ask for you guys. I mean, like, listen, that like the unfortunate effects and the efficiency that negativity can have on you and your life, man. I mean, it can cause you to spiral so much, and it's very simple to just twist that knob just a little bit and talk a little bit better to yourself, and it will all unfold in such a gracious way, and it'll be so much more positivity in your life for you if you just change the way you speak to yourself and change the way that you allow other people to speak to you. And a quote that I live by nowadays that is pretty big for me, because it constitutes respect, right? When people are disrespecting you, they're going to be negative towards you. They're going to tell you you can't do anything. And what I say is silence is the best answer to those who don't respect your words. I've heard that. I don't know where it's coming from. I can't remember who said it, but silence is the best answer to those who don't respect your words. I mean, that's as true as it comes. Because silence is a lot heavier than words in most circumstances. So that's pretty much all I have to say for today. So all the YouTube BS, like and sub, follow along on the journey that we're going to go on. We're going to sit here, talk about topics and random philosophies and all that fun stuff. And then eventually we'll expand when I'm healed. We'll expand to doing vlogs and adventures and sitting down with people and doing interviews and having fun. So love you guys. Peace.